5:30. A major ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court could reshape congressional maps nationwide. In Louisiana, leaders are already moving to delay primaries to redraw their district lines. The court's conservative majority says maps can only be challenged with proof of intentional discrimination. But Justice Elena Kagan says that the ruling weakens the Voting Rights Act. Experts say the biggest impact may come in 2028. Here in Kentucky, lawmakers have already shot down the idea of redistricting. Republicans telling the White House it's not worth it.
But political reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez talked to a civil rights leader who believes the High Court's ruling will have an indirect impact in Louisville.
With the potential for redistricting, I think that there would be less African-American representation in all levels of government.
Kentucky is not one of the states rushing to change its congressional maps in the wake of the Supreme Court's decision.
Just in terms of black voting power, will diminish it very significantly.
But Raymond Burse is already looking at the local impacts.
I think we had a strategy we were working on until yesterday.
Burse is the president of the NAACP's Louisville branch. They'd been talking about suing over the new Jefferson County School Board map passed by Kentucky lawmakers that reduces the number of districts from 7 to 5. Republican State Representative Jason Nemes of Middletown pushed for the change.
We have an opportunity now to improve JCPS that we've not had in a long time.
The NAACP's legal argument was the Voting Rights Act requires certain districts be specifically drawn to ensure minorities have majority representation. But the High Court ruled that's unconstitutional, which Burse says puts civil rights groups back at square one.
But what we may very well end up seeing is, at least in terms of JCPS, no African-American representation on the board.
Meanwhile, Republican Senator Rand Paul supports the justice's decision.
Since there is no evidence that there's any discouragement of black voting, really we should try to take race out of the equation. And I think that's what the Supreme Court's saying here.
Kentucky's Governor Andy Beshear, a Democrat, told me the move pushes the country backward.
This was such an important protection that makes sure that we have a government, of the people, and not a government that selects the people that can or cannot vote for them.
Well, there are some states that could redistrict for the midterms this year, but most of these states that so many folks are watching is really the look is at 2028 and what impacts we could see by the time that election comes around. Doug, Connie.
All right.